This is the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping the show on September the 6th, 2013. Our time is 8:44. We're on your favorite radio stations. Also, our radio show is archived on Harold's websites, HESradio.com and rarecoloreddiamonds.com. We have a podcast. You can take our radio show anywhere. We are portable on iTunes. Go to iTunes, type in World Financial Report on Radio. You can listen to us on your portable device. Do not forget, Worldwide Precious Metals, the company that Harold recommends you use for over 10 years to invest in precious metals. They are going to be in Toronto this October to book a private information session. You can call them 1-866-623-2002. That's 1-866-623-2002. You can sign up online at wwpmc.com, wwpmc.com. Harold has hsfineauctions.com along with Rare Colored Diamonds. And hsfineauctions.com has an auction coming up on October 21st, 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain. Go to Harold's website and sign up for that auction right now. As we start today's show, jobs numbers here in Canada, very, very good, which was a positive. In the United States, very poor, which does not surprise us. We had mentioned in our show, Gallup, the polling organization, had indicated a few weeks ago that things were taking a turn for the worse. They gained 169,000 jobs, which was way below what they had expected. The workforce, labor participation, the lowest since 1978, 63.2%. The unemployment number, 7.3%, due to that labor participation number. Obviously, when they talk about tapering now, the Fed in September, will it happen because of these poor numbers? We will have to wait and see. And September, October, Harold, tough months. Obviously, geopolitical. Syria is hanging out there. We don't know what's going to happen. Iran making threats against Obama and his family now, which is very bizarre on the Drudge Report this morning. The debt ceiling, that issue is going to be coming to a head in mid-October, maybe November. They'll have to raise the debt ceiling. They need a continuing resolution on a budget in the United States. They haven't had a budget, 4 years, maybe more than that. They need a resolution to continue on without a budget. Fed tapering, as I mentioned, will it happen? I doubt it. Fed nomination, someone to replace Ben Bernanke. The jobs report, as we touched on. And September and October, bad months normally for stocks. So if you look at the month of September and going into October, Harold, it is going to be a couple of very interesting months. We saw hard assets, gold and silver, very, very strong. And then we had a bit of a pullback this week, but up strong today on those jobs numbers.
You better believe it, Randy. Boy, you've really summed it up. A lot of situations happening in the world right now. And again, the frustration of the government is so apparent because everything that they've tried to do is just not working. Since 2008, the Federal Reserve in the U.S. has put so much money back into the economy to try to get things going, and basically it's just not working. And the worst situation of all is the unemployment situation, because that's why they're doing this all. They put $20 trillion, close to it, back into the economy. They're putting $85 billion a month in quantitative easing, still back into the market in bonds and stocks and things like that. And they're getting frustrated because all the money and all the work that they've done has not improved the economy in any way. Sure, it's bounced off the bottom of 2007, 2008, but let's face it, those were the lows that you could possibly get to. And the market has come back such, but the rally in the stock market has not been due to a strong economy. It's due to quantitative easing. And the fact is that the employment situation is going to get worse and worse. And the reason for that is Obamacare. It's going to be his legacy. He's pushing and pushing for it to happen, but basically because of the tremendous cost to the corporations of supplying health care with pre-existing conditions to everybody in the United States, all that the that the corporations are going to do is let go most of their full-time workers. They're going to put them into part-time so they don't have to pay benefits, and that's going to hurt the economy even more, because what they're going to do is they'll hire 2 people for part-time for 1 person full-time and not have to pay the benefits. So things are just going to go south, and it just isn't looking good. The market was choppy this week, but it was really a short trading week because of the Jewish holidays. It was Rosh Hashanah on Wednesday night and Thursday, and basically a lot of the traders are Jewish, and the markets were not heavily traded. So on Thursday, the gold market fell about $27, but as we're trading on Friday, it's back up $21. So we're trading $21 higher in gold at this point. We're trading right now right back up close to the 1,400 level at 1394. Got the silver market up 64 cents, trading right at the $24 level. Platinum up $11 at 1501, and palladium up $8 at 699. You've got the stock market, the Dow Jones down 70 points at this point at 14,868. There is a lot of nervousness in the market for September, October. October could be a horrible month for stocks, but I'm predicting that going into the new year, January, February is when you're really going to see these markets go south. The NASDAQ down 7 points at 3652. The TSX down 30 points at 12,815. U.S. dollar dropped heavily today, down 57 points. It's actually been strong most of the week at 82.06. The Nikkei down 204 points at 13,860, and oil's on a tear again. It had 3 or 4 days down in a row. We're up almost $2 today, and we're back above the 110 level in crude oil. As you know, we're very bullish on crude, and we think that crude's going back up to 150 to 170. The geopolitical situations, especially in the Middle East, are getting very concerning. You know, Randy and I were talking about this earlier this morning and talking about Syria and the United States, and it appears at this point the fact that they're waiting so long to make a decision, a lot of the sizzle comes out of the actual situation, but you know, there's a lot of threats being thrown forward, and one of the threats this morning that Randy mentioned on the Drudge Report is that Iran threatened to kill and rape Obama's daughters. So, you know, the thing is that things are getting very ugly in the Middle East. The big concern is for Israel, the only friend that the United States really has in the Middle East, and all of the Israelis are owning gas masks at this point. They're so petrified about the ramification of what's happening in Syria. The scary thing about Syria is the fact that they're being backed by Russia, Iran, and China. And the frightening thing is that in times of economic uncertainty and despair, as we're going through right now, not only in the U.S., but almost all over the world, China's in financial trouble. Obviously, Europe's in huge trouble, and now you've got the Middle East. You know, it's not unusual that a war will break out during these times of financial chaos, because it sort of averts the attention away from the bad economy and puts it towards the war. So if you look back in history, it is not unusual for these type of situations to raise their ugly head at the time of economic problems, and we certainly have our hands full with that situation right now. I think that at this particular point, we've seen the groundwork laid for much higher hard assets. I wouldn't be in the paper asset markets at this point. Again, the fear of the stock market dropping, what's happening in the bond markets at this point. The currency markets are being devalued all over the world. In Japan, the U.S. dollar has been stronger lately, especially against the Canadian dollar. However, the Canadian dollar came back very, very strong. It was sitting most of the week above, sitting at about the 95 to 94 cent level, and we're up actually at this point at back up at about 96. So the Canadian dollar did get much stronger today, but it appears at this point that they want the U.S. dollar or the Canadian dollar at this point not to be stronger than the U.S. because of trade situations. So all in all, the currency markets are very, very volatile. The stock markets and commodity markets are volatile. Again, oil markets are skyrocketing up almost $2 today, and we do anticipate that we are going to see substantially higher precious metals prices. In fact, you know, we've gone through 2 years of the markets being fooled with by the Federal Reserve and the different exchanges trying to keep the price of metals down. And as crazy as this seems, their attitude is that they don't want people to think that the economy isn't getting better, so they bring down the price of gold. It makes absolutely no sense. The fact is that when you play around with the markets, it's only a temporary situation. They always come back because the trend in the market is always your friend. If you go back to the technical analysis of markets, going back over, decades type of thing, it's a very sophisticated mathematical situation, and the markets are very technical. They're chart-oriented. They've got history. There's 200-day moving averages and things like that. So all in all, the markets are going to come back. They're going to come back with a vengeance. And once gold breaks 1,900, which was the all-time high, then you're going to see the market start to get into the 22 to 2,500 range, and ultimately, more than likely, in the $3,500 to $5,000 range. I know that may sound ridiculous to some people, but the fact is that everything that is happening in the marketplaces today and has been happening since 2008 is going to come back and affect the markets. It's going to affect the currencies in a huge way, and there is a direct correlation between the U.S. dollar and the gold market. In actual fact, in 2011, when gold hit its all-time high of 1,900 and silver was at 50, the U.S. dollar was down at 72.5 cents. So the fact is that the euro, which is a pathetic currency that is just in huge trouble at this point, is stronger than the U.S. dollar by 30%. The British pound, which is also a currency that's in trouble, but it's still 40% stronger than the U.S. dollar. So the fact is that when the U.S. dollar does come back down, it's going to come down with a vengeance. There's support in the U.S. dollar at 80 cents. Very heavy support. It's trading right now at 82.06. Once that 80-cent level is broken, the next major level of support in that market is at 72.5 cents, which is where the U.S. dollar was in 2011 when gold and silver hit their highs. Once that price is broken, watch for the gold market to really take off and fly. So again, all in all, I believe that we're set up for a huge move coming in hard assets and possibly a gigantic drop in paper assets, mostly stocks. The economy isn't getting better. The employment situation is not getting better. And if corporations are so afraid of Obamacare and the tremendous cost it's going to add to their bottom line, the fact is that the unemployment situation in the U.S. is going to get dire. Now, we don't believe that the numbers are accurate at this point. 7.2% unemployment in the United States is still a rough number, but most people in the know feel that the real number is at about 13 to 15% because they exclude people that are not trying to get jobs anymore because it's a hapless situation. When you've got 15% unemployment, 25% unemployment was depression numbers. And those numbers are present in Europe, by the way. 65% unemployment amongst college kids and 35% unemployment amongst adults in Spain, Greece, Portugal, those areas. So the fact is that you'll have a lost generation. When kids come out of college and there's 65% unemployment, there's no future there. There's no jobs. They may have to leave the country. I read a report the other day how kids are living with their parents, and the fact is that that's a scenario that's not going to stop. So when you've got a lost generation, a generation that has no future, they can't get a job, so they can't move out of the home. They can't buy a home. They can't contribute to the economy. They don't pay taxes. They don't get married. They don't have children. It's a frightening situation, and that's happening in Europe, and it's happening to an extent in the United States because unemployment amongst college kids is at about 30 to 35%. It's a frightening time, ladies and gentlemen. It's a time to be very, very cautious. It's a time not to speculate, not to take unnecessary risks. The fact is that the paper asset market, mostly the stock market, is a frightening place to have most of your money at this point. And I know because of low interest rates where the banks are paying 1 or 2%, so it almost forces people back into the stock market. But don't forget 2008 and don't forget 1999. The fact is that we're heading for another gigantic drop in the markets because the U.S. economy is not getting better, and all the money that was spent on quantitative easing was basically for nothing because it's not working, and now we're even more in debt in the United States. It's an absolutely frightening situation, Randy. Again, be very concerned and be very cautious. Own some hard assets. Own physical gold, physical silver, diamonds. Those type of assets will get you through these difficult times. And again, I'm very, very bullish on gold, silver, and diamonds and oil at this particular point.
Interesting stat from the Wall Street Journal. 70%, and they say, of old people, which I don't know if you're 68 years old, you're old, but anyway, they're saying of old people are still supporting their adult children. A recent U.S. Trust survey showed that 70% of respondents older than 68 are providing substantial financial support for their adult children. That according to the Wall Street Journal. Now is the time to invest in hard assets. Worldwide Precious Metals. WWPMC.com, telephone number 1-866-623-2002. Worldwide Precious Metals of Vancouver, BC, a leading Canadian precious metals bullion dealer, recommended by Herald for over 10 years. They are the experts to trust and work with in this very specialized market. Start your own precious metals investment account today. All gold is allocated either wholesale or premium. They'll explain that to you. They're there to help you maximize profit, minimize risk. You will have instant liquidity in and out of the market with just a phone call, online access. The metal can be stored on your behalf, insured to the full value of your investment. Ask about domestic or foreign storage and premium storage in specific coin and bar form. Stored metal is outside the banking system. The metal also can be delivered to your door if you want. Worldwide Precious Metals has the precious metals, the physical bullion you want today. And don't forget, they're going to be in Toronto in October. To book a private information session, call 1-866-623-2002 or sign up online, wwpmc.com. Get our free weekly newsletter from Worldwide Precious Metals, wwpmc.com or 1-866-623-2002. That stat that I just mentioned, 70% of old people still supporting their adult children. That is in the newsletter. Also in the newsletter this week, we have some great information on investing in silver. We have a chart, and it's a chart that says the revolution is real. 5 reasons why U.S. solar growth is going to explode. And you can see that chart. That is a huge positive for the silver market. In fact, Stephen Lieb said, this major catalyst to launch historic moves in gold and silver. Silver has been the star of the show lately, and obviously it's like gold on steroids. Not only does silver get the monetary boost, but it's also getting the industrial metal boost. Virtually every country around the world has realized they are going to need a lot of solar and other renewable energies to run their economies in the coming century. Once you start talking about solar, you're looking at massive demand for physical silver. Silver is already, and this is highly sought after because of extraordinary properties. When you compound that with the increasing demand for future photovoltaics, solar, triple-digit silver is in the bag. Investors will look back and say, I can't believe that you could have bought silver for under $20 an ounce in 2013. But as gold heads towards the major inflection point, which will launch it to, and he believes, a historic move to $10,000, silver will begin to move, and he's talking about hundreds of dollars higher. The bottom line is that both gold and silver are going to have the moves that will be written about in the history books for a long, long time to come. And that's something to keep in mind when you're investing in silver. Not only is it a monetary metal, but it has that industrial component as well. And Stephen Lieb had a quote that went along with the story. Every time there's a little bit of radioactive water leaking into the ocean of Japan, another solar panel is going to go up. And for every solar panel that goes up, there's more physical silver that's needed. So from Japan to China and even the United States, demand for silver is going to continue to increase at a very, very rapid rate. John Embry spoke about silver this week in a silver market update through King World News. Eric King, a great website, great interviews. He says, what I'm really interested in is silver because I think silver is so dramatically undervalued. There has been a great deal of speculation about how the silver price was driven down from 30 to 18, but it now appears to be bouncing back. I think there is a distinct shortage of silver that is developing, unlike gold, where central planners can get access to some physical gold to suppress the market. I don't think that exists when it comes to silver, so I wouldn't be surprised to see silver leading gold higher in the future, just like we are seeing today. The bottom line here is that silver is tremendously undervalued, demand is solid, and the supply-demand curve is extraordinarily positive for higher prices. This is exactly why we are now seeing the shortage of silver developing, and if it accelerates, the price of silver will simply explode to the upside. And I know that there was a great article by Ted Butler. You can get it in our newsletter this week. Connect with Worldwide Precious Metals, wwpmc.com or 1-866-623-2002. And the article is by Ted Butler, I Own Silver Because of the Coming Shortage. If you'd like to learn more, speak with Worldwide Precious Metals. They'll get that article to you. Also, Harold, this week, U.S. silver coin sales top 2012 as investors buy at a record pace. Sales of American Eagle silver coins by the U.S. Mint this year surpassed the total for 2012 as investors snap up precious metals at a record pace and spark a rebound in price. That does not surprise us at all. Sure, we saw the paper price come down, but the physical has been very, very strong all around the world, and we have about 2 minutes left in our segment here.
Well, it makes sense, again, and what didn't make sense was the fact that the price of silver was plummeting at a time when there was very little physical silver, and that's what I'm talking about, playing with the markets, because that's basically impossible. Economics 101 always says that when demand is high and supplies are low, the price always go up. It happens in oil, it happens in grains, it happens in food, it happens in every single commodity, so why would that be different for silver? Again, it was silver, high prices in silver and gold were signaling that there was a problem and the economy wasn't recovering, and they did what they had to do. It's a temporary situation. The price of gold and silver will rise substantially for the right reasons, for inflation and currency devaluation, and that's exactly why you want to own gold and silver at this particular time.
Stop the destruction of your paper wealth by investing in hard assets, gold and silver. Turn paper assets into hard assets for real wealth. The Bank of Cyprus depositors, they lost 47.5% of their savings. Don't let this happen to you. Get some money out of the banking system into hard currency, hard assets like gold and silver. Speak with Worldwide Precious Metals. They're going to be in Toronto in October. To book a private information session with them when they're there, 1-866-623-2002, 1-866-623-2002, or sign up online at wwpmc.com. And if you want to start your own precious metals investment account today, Worldwide Precious Metals, this is the company Harold has recommended for over 10 years. They specialize in this market, and they obviously are the experts in this very specialized field. Now is the time to talk to them. And if you're in what we would call paper gold and silver, bank certificates, precious metals, ETFs, paper promises, now is the time to get out. Worldwide Precious Metals will help you get the real physical metal. wwpmc.com, telephone number 1-866-623-2002. Another exciting week for diamonds, as we always say about this time, because it's amazing. Week after week after week, there's great information. We were talking about blue diamonds last week. There's a big, giant white diamond that is going to be for sale. We'll talk about that as the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall, continues right after this. Welcome back to the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping our show September 6th, 2013, after the long weekend. Hopefully everyone had a long weekend, kids back to school, everyone back to work. It is a very, very busy time. And for those listening in Edmonton, it's Canadian Country Music Week. We say hello to those people that love country music and Canadian country music in particular. Don't forget, we're on your favorite radio station, but we're also archived. The shows are archived on Harold's websites, HESradio.com and RareColoredDiamonds.com. We have a podcast through iTunes. Type in World Financial Report on Radio. The show is there. It's portable. You can take it anywhere on your device. Harold does daily market commentary too. You can find that market commentary on his websites. You can find it on the podcast site as well. When it comes to investing in precious metals, the only company Harold recommends, he has been doing it for over 10 years, Worldwide Precious Metals, to invest in gold, silver, platinum, palladium. 1-866-623-2002, the website wwpmc.com. They're going to be in Toronto in October. To book a private information session, call them or sign up online. And Harold, before we get to talking about diamonds, your wife actually pulled out a big diamond, a 16-pound rainbow diamond. Harriet was fishing with you, and she caught we should talk about it, a huge fish the other day.
Yes, we went fishing yesterday to an amazing place, and it's getting to be fall in Colorado, and all the leaves are changing and everything, and we had a great day of fishing, but she caught a 16-pound rainbow trout. I'll send you a picture of it and put it in the newsletter last week.
Please do. We'll put it in the newsletter. I think we did that one other time. You caught a huge, big fish, and yes, all the colors of the diamond rainbow are in that fish, no doubt.
Exactly. There was a lot of pink in this in this fish.
Speaking of pink, rarecoloreddiamonds.com is the website, Harold's website for investing in colored diamonds. Telephone number 1-800-432-1022. Our featured diamond this week is a pink diamond. It's a .50 carat princess cut, fancy orangey pink Argyle from the Argyle mine. It is absolutely stunning. Get our newsletter from Harold. Connect with him at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. We have the interview. Harold was interviewed over about a month and a half ago on Bloomberg with Deirdre Bolton. He's going back on Bloomberg here in the next month or so, and they talked about diamonds. We have that interview as well. Also, this week, a flawless 118-carat diamond expected to fetch $35 million. Going up for auction at Sotheby's, October the 7th in Hong Kong. We have video on that. We have a picture of it as well. It is a massive diamond. And we have a story from Bloomberg. Diamonds are still forever. And the growth trajectory for diamonds because of demand in Asia and India is absolutely stunning. And this white diamond, Harold, obviously our featured diamond is absolutely stunning, and people can speak to you about investing in that half-carat pink Argyle, that fancy orangey pink Argyle. But this white diamond for $35 million, we have a picture, and it's taking up almost the entire palm of this person's hand. It's a big one.
And very, very rare, obviously, and $35 million for that diamond is a very good price. It's really the size of a golf ball. So to get a diamond that large, and that is perfect, it's a deflawless, it is absolutely amazing. Again, to get a 118-carat diamond is just one of the rarest things you'll ever see, and again, they're going to pay for it appropriately. There's very few diamonds that size ever available, so when a diamond like that comes online or comes on for sale, it's a really big deal. In fact, there's 3 major diamonds coming up for sale. 2 of them are blue, and now this massive, beautiful, white, perfect diamond is stunning. Our feature diamond is a very, very rare diamond, and this is what makes it so rare. First of all, being an Argyle pink, they're in very, very limited supply because the Argyle mine that produces 95% of the pink diamonds in the world is going to close, as most of us know, and the prices are continuing to increase on these diamonds tremendously. Now, 95% of Argyle pink diamonds are under a quarter carat. They're the most concentrated form of wealth in the world, but again, they're smaller diamonds, and they're worth a fortune of money. This one is a half a carat. It's twice the size of a normal Argyle. In fact, to get a diamond, an Argyle pink diamond that's over half a carat, is extremely rare and extremely valuable. But what also makes this diamond very valuable and rare and a phenomenal investment is, first of all, the cut. The princess cut. Very seldom will you ever see a princess cut. It's a very rare cut. It's one of my favorites. It's basically a square cut diamond with pointed edges, and it's just an absolutely beautiful diamond. So the fact that it's over a half a carat makes this diamond really rare. The princess cut is one of the rarest cuts, and the color is ridiculous. It's a fancy orangey pink. Pink diamonds are very rare, extremely difficult to get, but when you add to the equation orange, which is very, very few orange diamonds ever found. They're ridiculously rare and very, very valuable. So this diamond encumbers both. It's orangey pink. The color is a very soft, beautiful pink. You can literally see the orange in the diamond, which again is just something that most people will never see. On top of it, it's a near flawless diamond. The fact is, it's nearly impossible to get a near flawless Argyle diamond. Most of Argyle diamonds are really graded on their color because the color is very important. So this diamond is just ridiculously rare. It's so beautiful. It's very large. It's a princess cut. It's a beautiful color, fancy orangey pink. It's an Argyle diamond, which makes it go up in value more than almost any other diamond, and it's a near flawless VVS1. So again, some lucky person is going to end up with this particular diamond, and over the next 10 years, this diamond can increase anywhere from 8 to 10 times what today's present prices are. That's how valuable these diamonds are. Just really beautiful. On top of that, the diamond market is on fire right now, and it's primarily because investors are so concerned about everything happening in the marketplace, currency devaluation, inflation coming, problems in the Middle East, because diamonds are portable private wealth. Nobody knows that you own them. You can travel with them. You can take them to another country. You own them outright, but they can also be sold in other currencies. When we sell our clients diamonds down the road, we have auction sites in London, in Hong Kong, in Dubai, and all over the world. And the reason that we do that is so we could sell a diamond for our clients in London, for example, and pick up British pounds, which are worth 40% more than what the U.S. and Canadian dollars are. So the diamond market right now is just doing extremely well and will continue to do so. But as the economy gets into worse and worse shape, again, these diamonds will just continue to go up in value. And what's happening at auction is almost unprecedented because, again, these diamonds are fetching record prices in the auction market, and that is going to continue because, again, they're portable private wealth. They don't trade on exchanges, so what happened in the commodity markets and in the stock markets and all that doesn't happen to diamonds because there's so few of them that the diamonds do not fall in price. You're also going to find a shortage of yellow flawless diamonds. The fact is that there's maybe only 100 yellow flawless diamonds, fancy yellows to fancy vivids, available that are cut within a year, and there's very few of them available at this point, especially the highest color, which is vivid. These diamonds tend to go up by 15 to 20% a year. The vivids can go up even more than that because they're the highest color grade. But there's very few of them coming out of the marketplace, and to get a perfect diamond, a perfect yellow, you either want a fancy light yellow, which is known as a canary, a fancy yellow, a fancy intense, or a fancy vivid. Those are the diamonds that you want to own, and they've got to be internally flawless. And you're going to find a yellow diamond that you can buy for $20,000 today can be a $80,000 for you, dollar diamond for you in 10 years. These are the best assets for retirement. They never ever decline in value. They go up in value no matter what the economy is, and the only time that they go up more than what they normally would go up by supply and demand is when the stock market is not good. In 2008, certain diamonds that were negative correlated to the stock market went up 50% when the Dow went down 50%. So they're also a hedge against a bad stock market and a bad economy. There's nothing wrong with diversification. You know, the thing about the diamond market is that most people don't know how it works. You know, you go into a jewelry store and you buy a diamond and you give it to your sweetie and she wears it, and if you ever wanted to sell it, it's extremely difficult to do. If you go back to the same jeweler 5 or 10 years later and you say, I bought this diamond from you, would you buy it back from me? The answer will either be no, we don't do that, or number two, they would offer you much less than what you paid for it, even though the diamond may have gone up in value. When I looked at the diamond market as an investment market, the one thing that the market was missing was a secondary market to resell diamonds, and that's the most important thing that my company has done in the diamond business, in my opinion, is created the secondary market to resell diamonds. You certainly have Christie's and Sotheby's, which are very amazing companies that have been in business for over 100 years, that have developed their place in the auction business. And when major stones and major diamonds become available for sale, in the past, most have come to Christie's and Sotheby's to sell their very large diamonds. But how about the smaller diamond market? How about the clients that own a 1-carat yellow flawless diamond or a half a carat argyle pink or a 1-carat D flawless type of thing? Where is the market for that? So that's what we developed, and it's a booming market. And there's collectors all over the world that collect diamonds but have never had a way to resell them, and that's what we did. We built a company called H. Siegel Fine Auctions, or hsfineauctions.com, and it's the only company of its kind in the world. It's a live auction site that works on the internet, so you can attend our auctions from the comfort of your own home on your computer, and you can participate. And it's not like an eBay site where you make a bid just by typing in your bid. It's a live auction. I sell every single piece. On our last auction, which was in June, we had 20 diamonds up for sale, 17 argyle pinks, 2 Cartier diamond rings that were signed pieces, and and an orange diamond ring that was ridiculously rare, and every single diamond sold within 1 hour. It's a very successful business. When we sell diamonds for our clients, we get 10% of the profit, so we're in it with you. If you do well, we do well, and again, that's the way it should be. So we're very, very excited about our business. And it's a phenomenal asset to own when the world economy is in such bad shape because, again, it's an asset that actually works on its own. And when you talk about, at this point, probably one of the most important things for most people is capital preservation, just to be able to keep their money. You saw what happened in Cyprus. People lost almost 50% of their deposits. The stock markets can take away half of your money when they start to fall, but that never happens in the rare diamond market. And again, we're not, even though we do carry diamonds starting at $15,000 and going up as high as $50 and $60 million, the majority of our clients invest, under $100,000. Our clients are hardworking, everyday people that just want to do better than what's available in the bank at 1 or 2%. And diamonds will do that for you. Yellow flawless diamonds, they increase by 15 to 20% a year. Argyle pinks over the next 10 years will increase anywhere from 8 to 10 times what today's prices are. And D flawless white diamonds, the rarest white diamonds in the world, they increase by 15 to 20% a year. They never ever decline in value, and they're negative correlated to the stock market. So again, one of the best investments you can make at this particular point is into the rare diamond market. We take that business very, very seriously, and we take very, very good care of our clients. Now, our next auction is on October the 21st. I'm going to be on Bloomberg for another interview on the 18th, and we should have a massive, massive audience for this next auction. We have clients now all over the world that attend our auctions, and again, one of the major reasons that we're excited about being on Bloomberg is that we increase the amount of visitors to our auction site of high net worth individuals, and obviously what we're doing at this point is we're building and building this business. Right now, everybody's buying diamonds. Nobody's really selling their diamonds. So the diamonds coming up for sale are from my personal collection. Diamonds that I've owned for the last 10 or 15 years that I'm putting up for auction, not because I want to, because of the importance of building the secondary market, which is H. Siegel Fine Auctions. So sometimes you have to sacrifice in order for the good of the long term, and that's exactly what we're doing. So right at this particular point, the diamond market is on fire. We're ecstatic about what's going on. We've got some huge plans coming up on our website, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, within the very near future. Next couple of weeks, we're going to have a whole diamond learning center. It's going to be sensational. You're going to be able to learn everything. We'll be able to send you out our new DVDs, and we bring some amazing diamonds to the table. So again, Randy, at this point, you got 3 major diamonds coming up for auction. 2 of them are blues. One's going to sell for over $20 million. This white diamond is going to sell for over $35 million. There's big money going into diamonds, and there's a reason for it. It's because it's the safest asset that never, ever declines in value.
And we saw in Cyprus, 47.5% of the people who were in that bank lost. They lost, actually, it was 47.5% of their money. That's what they lost, those depositors over 100,000 euros. And now you basically have Russians that own that bank. RareColoredDiamonds.com is the website. Connect with Harold at RareColoredDiamonds.com. Telephone number 1-800-432-1022. 1-800-432-1022. Our featured diamond this week is a .50 carat princess cut fancy orangey pink argyle. It's absolutely stunning. You can go to the website and see it. We have video on the site, and in our newsletter as well, we have a picture of it. It's absolutely stunning. One of the 5 reasons that you want to invest in the hard asset market, colored diamonds: privacy, portability, estate planning, price stability, and good long-term growth. And unlike a stock certificate, bond, or T-bill, this is an investment you can hold in your hand. Colored diamonds can be mounted, displayed, and appreciated on fingers, wrists, ears, your neck. Obviously, the loved one that you choose can obviously have this diamond to display. And it can always be unmounted for resale at short notice. And sometimes when they are mounted, they sell at even better prices at auction. So now is the time to take a look at the hard asset, which is rare colored diamonds, and do it through rarecoloreddiamonds.com. As Harold was mentioning, next auction October 21st, 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain. Go to the website and you can see some of the items that were auctioned off over the past 11 auctions over the last year or so. You can see the catalogs online. Sign up for the next auction. And Harold, we should reiterate, for those that may not want to bid, just want to feel out the process for the first time, just sign up. You can sit back. You can see how it works. You do not have to bid. When you feel comfortable, obviously that's when you can pull the trigger and start bidding. But this is a process where everyone is invited. You do not have to place a bid, and it's at your own comfort level. When you're ready, go ahead and place a bid, but you do not have to be a part of this, right?
You better believe it. Again, a lot of people, in fact, at the last auction, we had over 250 people signed up, but there's really only 60 or 70 people bidding. So what you're saying is 100% correct. Get comfortable with it. Just go to hsfineauctions.com. By next week, you're going to be able to view the catalog of the diamonds that we're going to be auctioning off. We're going to have some beautiful pink diamonds from the Argyle mine. We're going to have some Cartier pieces. We're going to have some really surprising, amazing pieces. Again, we're going to be on Bloomberg a couple days before, so we're really going to have a spectacular auction. You know, at the last time I was on Bloomberg, I showed a $4 million pink, a beautiful deep flawless white, a beautiful green diamond, my wife's 14-carat flawless yellow that really almost stole the show. But the item that really stole the show was Elizabeth Taylor's 95-carat diamond necklace and her matching 22-carat earrings that we sold the very next day. I have the last 8 pieces of Elizabeth Taylor's estate. I've got... and I'll send pictures to you this week, Randy, so you can see my wife wearing it. But I have her diamond, yellow and white diamond necklace that she designed herself, and I've got the provenance on it. I've got the signed piece of paper by Elizabeth Taylor where she sketched this diamond necklace and earrings and then made all her notes and then signed it. That particular provenance, that piece of paper, according to Christie's, is worth about $300,000, just the signed piece of paper from Elizabeth Taylor. So I've got her magnificent, and I mean magnificent, I'm going to send pictures to you, so we'll put it in the newsletter next week, of her flowered necklace and earrings made of all white and yellow diamonds. It's going to take your breath away. My wife wore it to a party, and everybody was on her, and she was wearing a 14-carat flawless yellow with it. Randy, it just absolutely stole the show. She was wearing almost $2 million in diamonds that day. I've also got Elizabeth Taylor's 3 brooches. One of them I have a picture of her wearing it, and the other 2, just like the earrings and necklace, I've got the signed piece of paper where she sketched these brooches and signed it, and they're just worth an absolute fortune. These can sell for 10 times what they're estimated to sell at. In fact, we have the auction results for Elizabeth Taylor's items that were sold last year, and a pair of earrings that she had that was supposed to sell for $60,000 to $80,000 sold for $862,000. If you want to see the results of Elizabeth Taylor's pieces going to auction, call me or email me, and I'll send them to you. You're just not going to believe what you'll get for these pieces. And again, I own 8 of Elizabeth Taylor's last pieces that have never, ever been auctioned before. We also have the Van Cleef, Arpels, and Boucheron collection from circa 1930, some of the rarest pieces. And all these pieces, when they go to auction, they sell for an absolute fortune, sometimes 8 to 10 times what the estimated value are. All of these pieces are available for sale, but we show them totally privately. If you're interested in Elizabeth Taylor's pieces, her diamond pieces that she designed and signed up on, I have those pieces. Again, some of them are very expensive, but amongst the best investments you could possibly make. Call me, and I'll show them to you privately. Either email them to you or whichever way you want to see them. But again, these are Elizabeth Taylor's last 8 pieces that have never gone to auction, and I have those pieces available for sale. They're going to take your breath away. And Randy, I'm going to send you the pictures of my wife at this party. You're going to get a chance to see them.
Well, and that's the beauty. For me personally, this is one thing I've always said. Yes, I understand the investment portion where you buy something, you invest in something, and it's worth, let's say, $100,000, and then it eventually over time goes to $200,000. I understand that, and that's what we all want. But there's another factor in play, and that is who can say that they have Elizabeth Taylor's something around their neck, their finger, whatever it may be. You're talking about a museum piece. You're talking about not only a Hollywood icon, but a fashion icon and somebody who had a passion for diamonds. She had so many amazing, stunning diamonds. And that's that's sort of the X factor in the diamond business, that magic, that special little thing that you can't get in a stock certificate or a bond certificate that you can get when you invest in jewelry, colored diamonds. And that's something that you need to investigate. Speak with Harold, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Telephone number 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022. Speak personally and privately with Harold about the Liz Taylor collection that he has. And you can go to rarecoloreddiamonds.com. And the pink diamond we have featured this week, featured diamond, 0.50 carat princess cut, fancy orangey pink argyle. But Harold, we've said this before. We have about 3 minutes left in the show here. When we go to your website, it's like going to an online museum. And you have the best of the best. And when people, well, we even have people setting up websites and taking copies of pictures of your diamonds and putting them on their own website, and we have to go after them and say, no, please stop that, don't do that, you can't do it. But we have the best of the best. It's like going to a museum online. And obviously, we've seen massive success with pieces like the Elizabeth Taylor pieces. And Deirdre Bolton of Bloomberg, she was so excited, Harold, to have that Liz Taylor diamond necklace around her neck. I think she wanted a picture with you. She was just so excited on TV to have it.
Well, let's face it, how many people ever get a chance to try something like that on? It was a 95-carat diamond necklace and matching earrings, and this flowered piece is equally as beautiful. So again, I'm just very, very fortunate to be in this business and to have the contacts that I have in order to be able to bring these pieces to our clients. You know, we have diamonds starting at $15,000 and going up to over $60 million. Most of our clients that invest in diamonds invest under $100,000. You could do very, very well in the $25,000 to $50,000 range. Get something into an investment, into an asset that's going to keep its value, increase in value, and could be sold in another currency. And if all else fails in the world economy, you've got an asset that will do better than almost anything available. I'll tell you, when my wife was wearing that Elizabeth Taylor piece, I had such tremendous pride in seeing how happy she was and how everybody was just so amazed just to see and be around an iconic piece like that. So those that are interested, contact me. I'll show you privately these Elizabeth Taylor pieces and our magnificent diamonds. And again, all Randy and I want is for our clients to do well and to prosper.
Thank you very much, Harold Siegel.
It's my pleasure. I wish everybody a wonderful weekend and a very profitable day.
That was the one of the things that the lady who owned the Hope Diamond said, is that it's not so much the worth or the value of the diamond, but more the reaction that I get from wearing it. And that was very important for her. Connect with Harold. RareColorDiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. HS Fine Auctions. Next auction, October 21st, 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain. Connect with Worldwide Precious Metals. They have, in October, they have seminars, private information sessions in October in Toronto. Sign up, 1-866-623-2002. The website, wwpmc.com. Find out more about starting your own precious metals investment account today with Worldwide. That's it. Another edition of the World Financial Report on radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall. We will talk to you next week.